Hello guys, it's Yuri and ladies certainly. Today I'm making a new video about the best golf rounds performance. As you know, last year I have made a lot of videos about the rounds which were played with -8 and better, and I have analysis of the performance in these rounds because the statistics of the performance in such rounds is very different from the usual rounds, and in this connection we have better understanding of the reasons why golfers are so good in such days. And I think that it's for me it's very useful for the planning of my training, and also it's making some ideas, giving some ideas about the performance, about the training process. Yesterday, the Cameron Smith, who are well known by his skills to play with -8 and better. Last year, he was 3 or 4 times analyzed by me exactly in such rounds, and he have played -11 even. And in this connection, you know that I have made a special analysis of his performance in the first day of the Sentry Tournament of Champions. So we can see that par 3 holes, as you know, we have only 3 par 3 holes on in this course, and he have played with total results 10, and it was +1. Just one bogey he have made yesterday, and this bogey was on one of the par 3 holes. On the par 4 holes, he have played totally for 40 shots, and his score was -4. He have used perfectly par 5 holes, and it's usual history, because oftenly the best golfers are achieving a big portion of their performance better than par, exactly on the par 5 holes. And yesterday he have made 2 eagles, exactly on the par 5 holes, 1 birdie and 1 bogey only. In this connection, his total performance was -5, and he have played 4 holes for 15 shots. It's better than 4 at average. Excellent skills. His scoring was 65 -8. He have made 36 shots inside 100 yards, and it's not so small figures. It's 55.4% from the total number of shots. It's much more, a little bit more than usual. Usually this figure is very close to 50%, or sometimes even less than 50%. So his performance on these distances was not so hugely impressive. His driving distance was not so long, at average 290 yards. Driving accuracy was perfect, 80%, 12 fairways from 15 attempts from the 15 tee shots. And greens and regulation 78%, 14 from 18. Strokes gained from putting 3.46. Scrambling 75%, 3 attempts from 4. He have set a pars, and greens and regulation multiple for scrambling. For me, it's a very good measurement for the best rounds and for the best golfer's performance. And you can see that when this figure is close to 50%, we can say that it's such performance, such measure, such figures. Usually, if the golfers have such average figures during the whole season, he became the best golfers, best in money list, excluding the last tournaments in this year, in such years. For example, last year, the best one in the PGA Tour, Patrick Cantlay, had the figure very close to 50%. So the Cameron Smith yesterday had 26 putts also. After that, I'm making the shots analysis. I'm using the shot analysis. I'm analyzing each shot which were made yesterday. I'm taken it from the statistics on the PGA Tour, play-by-play statistics. And I think that it's amazingly interesting, because you see that in the first day, because all figures on each shot we can take from here, and after that I'm making the additional analysis of the such figures as the average distance from which it was making just one shot. So he have not chip-ins yesterday, and in this connection he have made just putts, but we can see that some of the putts were very long, and in many cases his amazingly perfect performance on the par 5 holes, his 2 eagles were relative exactly with the putting, which was much more better than his average figures. So we can see that it was not holes which were played for one shot, and average distance from which were made the shots in the one shot was 2.4. For 2 shots the average distance was 60 yards here, and for 3 shots 233, and for 4 shots 433, and 675 for 5 shots. So he had played just one hole for 5 shots yesterday, and 10 holes for 4 shots yesterday. And we can see the very interesting also information is over there. It's an information about the approach and proximity. So for each shot, for each hole, we can find the approach and proximity, and I need to say that, for example, when he was by the second shot on the par 5 greens, we are calculating the approach and proximity as 0, because he is not by a regular shot on the green, but on regular shot. After that, I'm calculating the average figure. It's the average figure for all 18 holes is 5.8 yards. To understand better the relative performance of such a figure, we need to take a look for the average distance from which approaching were made, and this distance is 128. In this connection, his proximity in percentage is 4.5, and that is much more better than average proximity for the best approaches in the PGA Tour, such as Colin Morikawa. Colin have the figures approximately from such a distance. His figures is approximately 5%, or a little bit more than 5%. In this connection, we need to say that the approach and proximity is the highly important factor and excellent measurement for the performance in the best rounds. The second highly important measurement for me is the first putt proximity. Because you see that the first putt proximity, first of all, if the first putt proximity is very small, as we see, it's just 0.2 yards, it's talking us that the golfer is in very excellent conditions, and his probability to make the first putt, which will finish in the hole, to make just one putt, will rise seriously in such days. And we can see that yesterday on 9 holes, maybe more than 9 holes, just a second, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On 10 holes he have made just one putt. And in many cases only his performance were relative with such an excellent figures. So I think that this way we are receiving much more better understanding of the factors which we need to work on, and exactly for us, I mean that for the not for professional golfers, for example, we can say that walking on the putting and the first putt proximity is highly important component of the game. And in this connection, if you will spend more time for the putting, we have more motivation to spend more time for the putting, because the putting skills are more simply developed, because you need not any kind of financial of the physical skills to do it. Much more difficult to have the approach and proximity, the excellent approach and proximity, because in many cases it's relative with your swing model and if you have with your impact, exactly. Because if you have the flip impact, what is the usual history for 84% of all golfers, amateur golfers, and 50% of all professional golfers, you have not reasons to expect such an excellent proximity, because only the luck impact is giving you such an excellent proximity, because accuracy is becoming much more better, because you are first, with the luck impact, you're first hitting the ball and after that hitting the ground, and this connection, not only the distance is the subject for the luck impact, but mostly the accuracy is amazingly important for the important reason to build such an impact. I will try to make a video in my opinion which will with golf swing analysis, which will describe most important factors for the luck impact building. In my opinion, it's transition, because without transition, it's simply impossible to have a luck impact. And some other also important, the late extension and so on. But in many cases, they are building on the exactly on the luck impact. So I hope that this information will be also useful for you, because in many reasons, and I hope it's exactly for the professional golfers, because you see that if you will concentrate on the special moments for the approach and proximity and the first part proximity, I'm sure that your results will be better and better. And this connection, and plus that on the greens and regulation, multiple for scrambling, because the scrambling, I need to say that it's becoming most important factor. All of the golfers, most of the golfers have service professionals. They are very close to each other in the distances in the tee shots, and very close to each other in the driving accuracy and driving distance in this case. But they are amazingly different in the greens and regulation and exactly in scrambling. In scrambling, you know that the most winning are based on the scrambling, on the perfect scrambling, on the scrambling that is much more better than the relative performance in the scrambling. For example, if the Patrick Cantlay is seriously strong exactly in the scrambling during the last seasons, and we see that his performance last year were amazingly perfect, much more better than other golfers. And again, most of his relative advantage will come exactly from the scrambling. In all other components, he was very close to others golfers, and even in the greens and regulation, in accuracy of the approaching shot, he was not so perfect as the Colin Morikawa, for example, but he was amazingly perfect playing around the green. And that is that exactly the subject which is not so perfectly developed for the Colin Morikawa, because the Colin is the best one in the approaching proximity, exactly, but he's not so good in the short game. In this case, if he will spend more time for the short game, I'm sure that he will improve his performance, and I hope that this year we will find his game working on this component. But he's young golfer, and he have a great future anyway, but with such excellent scrambling as the such golfers as the Patrick Cantlay, and many years ago it was the Steve Stricker. He will seriously, seriously improve his performance. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope that today We will have more excellent rounds from other golfers and maybe again from Cameron Smith. And it will be reason to make much more new videos about the best rounds golf performance. Thank you for your attention. I hope to see you in my channel, and I will be thanks a lot for different ideas about the golf statistics. Please stay them in your comments, so please stay links for your videos about this highly interesting subject for me, because thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye bye.